spontaneous, creative decision made after years of careful research.
Being really old and almost dying a bunch doesn't count as research.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Besides, it worked, didn't it?
How much longer for the upload?
2 more minutes. Hey, start time. Try it with hot sauce. You'll like it. Trust me.
No. Do not trust him.
Oh, where's this coming from?
It's coming from you back on the ship saying, trust me, we're professionals. We'll stick to the plan. We can do this. And then, that was not the plan.
Technically, it was a plan. It just wasn't the same plan that we started with.
If we don't leave with this blue light,
Amar, we will.
we will. I'll be waiting outside. No one moves. I'll be taking this off your hands. What? This? Funny.
Slow them down a little for you. Meet at the rendezvous.
Wait, what? Where's the rendezvous? I didn't catch that.
Copy that now.
Feel out! Well played. How bad is it? You're still mad at me? Got it.
State of Play is where they introduce new games and shit like that. Gameplay trailers for PlayStation exclusives.
I am developing a taste for destruction. Goodbye.
This is that E3 time of year where they start introducing new games.
This would be a very dishonorable way for us all to die.
Don't worry. Nobody's dying dishonorably. Also, we're bringing this back with us. Hey, Mark. What are you doing?
Getting us to the rendezvous point.
Perhaps we should have let go also.
Do not dare.
Well, we were supposed to get together.
If you let go, I swear I will be.
Oh, look, there they are. Hi.
I am glad you were death.
Almost dying is the best way to learn how not to die. Or something.
I knew this was gonna work.
This wasn't the plan.
Well, this wasn't the one we started with. All right, another satisfied customer. Good.
Get around with you for emergency bland situations or whatever.
Hey, Mar. Don't joke about something like this.
Our next job is somewhere with less scaffolding.
No scaffolding. Zero scaffolding. I promise. We were apart for so long. I thought I'd never feel your fiery embrace again.
You sound ridiculous.
Cool. So, what kind of game is it?
Concord is a 5v5 first-person shooter set in the vibrant sci-fi universe of
Yeah.
the Concord Galaxy. In Concord,
There
from
go.
the moment you log on, you are part of the crew of the North Star, a group of guns for hire known in our galaxy as Free Gunners. Free Gunners are those lucky enough to be free to roam the stars. They take jobs on worlds across wild space, where they face other fiercely competitive Free Gunner crews. Here's the very first look at the gameplay of Concord.
Free gunning. It's hard work, but it's our work, and we don't take it for granted. Being a free gunner means, well, you're free.
Right on target. Yeah, you better run.
Free gunners have a shot at making something of themselves, a chance to be someone.
All right.
Basically just like another.
I need a second to fix myself up.
Why not?
And in the water, you won't survive on your own.
from the big guns. That's me.
This crew will go anywhere. Take any job. Face any enemy. We're the Free Gunner crew of the North Star. And together, we're going to make our mark on this galaxy.
The crew is gathering. Would you like to join us for game night?
With Concord, we lean on the strengths and background of our team to make a tight, well-balanced FPS that feels great, precise, visceral shooting, and expressive abilities.
We ended up finding ourselves influenced a lot by fighting games and even strategy games in the interesting way that the asymmetry of their characters makes every fight, every matchup feel really different.
Leaning into the asymmetry of the characters, really pushing the possibility space of two different characters colliding. It's all about creating opportunities for improvisation. That's where we can get out of the way and let players find their own magic. We also have abilities that are meant to have impact beyond direct combat. Deployable gear, pads, bullet blocking domes, explosive traps, lane blocking walls, all kinds of ways to support your team or disrupt your enemies. Coordinated teams can set up and plan ahead, and depending on where and when it happens, players can shift the battlefield.
We've got everything from mystics and medics to gunslingers and sparked robots. Every character brings their own unique personality, skills, and wide-ranging perspectives to the crew. Every week, when you log into Concord, you will be welcomed with a new cinematic chance to see our characters off the job. They will feature ongoing narrative arcs that grow the characters' stories and relationships and unpack the broader Concord galaxy.
Why are you kissing a tchotchke?
We're excited to share that we'll be hosting a pre-launch beta in July, followed by Concord's global launch on August 23rd, 2024.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you? A calm and reasonable person.
You don't really want war, do you, Kratos?
War is coming! The prophecies say Fimbulwinter leads to Ragnarok. You will die, Kratos of Sparta.
Death can have me. When it earns me.
Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider. We have guests! They're too fast!
Fate only binds you to let it. Do what is necessary. Not because it is written.
Soldiers and officials alike oppress the people for personal gain, and the people must turn to thievery for food. Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land. Men are powerless at the feet of the divine. But even so, someone must act.
It wasn't a dream. We were really transported to Mirrorland.
The path of a stylist is never easy. So, are you ready for it?
Ready. Ready.
Is it you who pursues infinity? Or is infinity awaiting you?
Stars. Shields. I have seen the miracles you so claim. Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace, but all that came were inferior shades.
Why do we have to bear the consequences of such powers?
War. Mortality. These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands. We with emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above. This desolate land needs a sprinkle of madness.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
I could be a hero and break the curse. But I was a fool. There is no hope here. And the gods that walk among us thirst for death. Poison in my veins begs me to kill.
I'll put you in the ground. The power of our God is immeasurable.
Thought I could be a hero. But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands.
Any good games pop
Only
up?
monsters do.
You know, that one was pretty good. Oh shit, what's that? Oh, it's a VR game. Skydance Bohemian.
You know that's streaming, right?
Huh?
That is.
Yeah.
It's off though.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
You know what? It's bullshit too, cause I just realized Mike's not even on. Yeah, now it's on.
Hi everyone, I'm Sean Benson. I'm back on State of Play to introduce more exciting titles coming to PlayStation, starting with a highly anticipated PvP shooter, playable soon on PS5.
I gotta redo my audio shit, cause
All realities converge here. Destiny awaits.
Stronger together. Who needs to power up? Free fire zone.
Embrace the chaos.
Insignificant mass. Healing power. I'm back, baby. 3, 2, 1. Blast off! Gonna get sticky. Feel the wrath of the goddess.
some Marvel shit. Marvel Rivals.
Okay, let's see how mankind has conquered space.
Galactus Girl. Closed beta. Whatever day they said that was. Everstone. We got Lexu. Zion Dopers. Looks like a pretty awesome combat. It's kind of like a Dark Souls, but Asian. Shit. Rare Wind meets in development on PlayStation 5.
Hello, friends
Ballistic
and fans.
Moon.
I'm super excited to welcome all my pals back to the annual Blackwood Winter Getaway.
You can't hide from me, Michael.
It's probably one of those
So much to me.
scary games
that
like
we're all still here together.
Fight the brave. I feel like someone's watching us.
There's someone out there. Let's make this one trip we will never forget.
Mike, Emily?
Until Dawn 2. Until Dawn. Coming to PS5, PC, all 2024.
Oh, it's too late. You don't like to hate scary
Path of the Exile 2. Hey, I'm excited about that. I want to play that.
Arkham was once a peaceful land, but each day descends further into madness. Famine and plague besiege us. The very earth is being poisoned. The Count's men, once our protectors, have turned us. And now, for me. I must be the one to face this nightmare.
No noose this time. I'll remove your head myself.
But I need not do it alone.
Couch co-op. Crossplay. Fucking really good. Cross progression. Pass to the Exile. Early access beta. I want to play it now. Yeah, I it now.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry. I was just...
It's okay. I didn't mean to scare you.
Some Alan
I'm
Wake
kinda
type
lost.
shit.
I'm looking for Silent Hill.
Oh, Silent Hill.
I think you should stay away. This town, there's something wrong with it?
You ever played the old Silent Hill?
Is it dangerous?
You ever watch Silent Hill movie?
Maybe.
I'll be careful.
I'm not lying.
I guess I don't really care if it's dangerous or not. I'm going either way.
I played one of the games. It was too scary. I watched the movie.
No.
Too scary.
Here. Tell him I'll be good, please.
That shit look just like the evil within. I remember the first level of that game is you go to this abandoned house.
Capcom announced this next game last December, offering just a glimpse of what's in store for their celebrated franchise. Today, I am so excited to share the first full gameplay trailer
And the whole
for
time
Monster
you
Hunter
trying to
Wilds.
escape, you hear the change from back time. Every time you get close, you got to hide in the locker. Hopefully he don't find you, not breathe. All that was incorporated in the game.
As soon as we find a good spot, we can get things set up and ready to go. And then we can get started. This is gonna be great.
You bet.
I hope we find them soon.
Incredible. I've never heard of a Karapnoth herd this big before. One of them's got big spikes on its back.
Now to lead it away from the pack. We'll make for the desert.
Right. It's a sandstorm. Now commencing the hunt by order of the guild.
I've selected you as a lead hunter for this expedition.
Thank you, sir.
He holding his jaw with the sword.
That's the thing got your ass. Shit, oh, I'm climbing on monsters. I'm about to make them flip and hold the jaw with my sword.
Hey, that looks pretty dope though. I never really got into Monster Hunter. Let's check it out.
It's the actual video.
Yeah.
Did you do that before? Flying in the control?
sure to visit PlayStation Blog for more on the games you just saw, as well as PlayStation.com for the latest on Days of Play. This global celebration runs through June 12th, with deals on PlayStation Store, great new content coming to PlayStation Plus, and much more.
I see nothing totally mind-blowing in this state of play. Concord looked good. God of War, I haven't played it yet. Dynasty Warriors, I didn't miss this one.
Well, I say
Oppress the
God of
people
War
for personal gain,
That's already been out.
and the people must turn to thievery for food.
Maybe it's an expansion?
Perhaps this is heaven's way of lamenting the state of the land. Men are powerless at the feet of the divine.
Infinity
I was
Nikki.
dreaming. It
I
wasn't
missed
a
this one
dream.
too.
We were really transported to Mirrorland.
The path of a stylist is never easy. So, are you ready for it?
We're ready.
Ellie gonna fall in love with.
Ready.
That's one we gonna see her play that good one. I hope that motherfucker not free one
It's a princess boss fight.
either. Yeah, it kind of would be a perfect game to get her involved in RPG games. She should do all the missions and everything.
Actually stylish.
Is it you who pursues infinity? Or is infinity awaiting you?
I've seen the miracles you so claim. Until the towering shadows vanished into the mist.
I pray for their grace, but all that came were inferior shades.
That's a pretty cool visuals. That looks actually really good.
War. Mortality. These essences shall not fall into your treacherous hands.
We with emissaries, grant us the forgotten miracles. Rain fire from above.
This desolate flame needs a sprinkle of madness.
Remember, no matter what happens, we did not betray this world.
Ballad of Antira. Let's see the rest of these. Yeah. Nothing too.
Nothing too fancy.
I thought I could be a hero and break the curse. But I was a fool. There is no hope here. And the gods that walk among us thirst for death.
That's actually. That's all that we are? That's all that we are?
The poison in my veins begs me to kill.
I'll put you in the ground. The power of our God is immeasurable.
Thought I could be a hero. But heroes don't survive the Forsaken Lands. Only monsters do.
Oh shit, I just realized when I seen that Path of the Exile 2 is coming to PlayStation. The first one was not on PlayStation.
You know you're still recording, right?
When we started working on Path of Exile 2 on console, we knew we had to do a much better job than we'd done in the past. And Path of Exile 2 is a great game to do that with, because the combat is so much more visceral and action-oriented. As soon as we tried it on a controller, all of those extra features that we did to make melee combat feel so much better just really came out and felt great. We've got a dedicated team for console now, and they were able to create a new user interface just for controller, and we're really excited to show it to you guys.
It's twin stick, so basically left stick is your movement, as you'd expect, and right stick is the direction control for your character, so it allows you to do things like run backwards and stuff like that. It also overrides the auto-targeting, so it allows you to actually manually target enemies that are surrounding you, giving you much greater control. It works in combination with the keybinds, so we've got 24 keybinds that we have for the game, which sounds a bit daunting, but the way we're going to manage that is each skill that you gain is basically given a default bind, and then you can choose to override that if you want, if it's completely in the player's hands to choose where they want to bind the actual skills. You have a lot of freedom with regards to your design of your build, because that is the nature of the game, is that we need to allow that flexibility for players to create whatever they want to play. Inventory management for console, we've basically redesigned the whole menu system specifically for console. It's full screen. It provides you with a preview of your character, so you can actually see the full model of the character close up. But functionally, we still hold fidelity with the actual PC game. So inventory management is like you can pick up an item, move it around, and place it and equip it as usual. But we also provide shortcuts. So like there's a fast way to equip, there's a fast way to use and
Path of Exile on a couch. One of the things that we knew a lot of people would really enjoy was playing with their friends in co-op. This is actually a feature that a lot of games just don't bother with anymore, but it's something that I really love personally. You can play through the whole game from beginning to end together, enjoying the story along the way. And one of the great things is that in Path of Exile 2, we have a lot more synergy between our classes. So if you're playing something different from your friend, you'll probably find a lot of ways to work together.
So the addition of Couch Co-op was initially a bit of an experiment at first, and then we started to expand on it. We introduced like separate HUDs for each of the characters, and then once we got the camera system working with two characters, it really started to kind of come together and play really nicely. So then we expanded on that by providing Couch Co-op players with panel versions of the full screen menus that I've spoken about, which allowed us to have like simultaneous play with regards to inventory management and adjusting your passive skill tree and stuff like that. It was really just an evolution of the original sort of single-player game that actually turned into something pretty special. So logging in with Couch Co-op is pretty straightforward. Like you log in as normal with single-player, and then you can choose to log in second player as a guest on that account, or if you've got a friend who's a fan of the game as well, who also has an account, they can log in as a second player and have access to all of their content as well. So
See,
we've basically made it as flexible as possible to play any way you want to play. We're really happy with the addition of it, and it's available on console and on PC as well, so it's on all available platforms. I'd say it's like integral to the main game now.
With Path of Exile 2, we're trying to introduce the game to a much larger audience, and that means that it's really important to make sure that all our mechanics are understandable. Path of Exile's kind of got a reputation as a game of complexity, and this is something we want to make sure that we're improving while also maintaining the depth that we have.
Like, you can go,
so we're making sure in PoE 2 that we've got a lot more systems around giving you more information. Our item system, for example, it's certainly an area that had some complexity to it. Well, in PoE 2 we wanted to make sure there just weren't any hidden mechanics anymore, and so we've added a help system built into every hollow. You get the press of a button, you can get help about what any stat does, and we found that's really useful for the play experience.
Path of Exile 2 has full cross-play and cross-progression. Cross-progression basically allows you to play your game on your PC, and then if you want to move to the couch and continue play, then you can. You can just switch on your PlayStation and continue playing. It made sense for us to release this on PC and consoles at the same time. The models we're supporting are PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series models.
People around the office have had a huge amount of fun on the console version of PoE 2, especially with the couch co-op. We'll be having a beta on console simultaneously with PC at the end of the year. I'm really excited to see what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to converting everyone to use a controller when they're playing Path of Exile 2.
Got class walkthroughs. Let's do class walkthroughs.
Let the hunt begin.
What is the ranger? Rangers are usually bow and arrow type people.
When we started to work on the Ranger, we knew we had to make a class with high agility. The dream of fast bow gameplay is Legolas, so that's what we wanted to deliver. The starting point is moving while shooting a bow. Any kind of basic arrow skill can be fired while moving, with a movement penalty. This immediately gives you a lot more freedom on the battlefield. Here, I'm starting each battle with a poison burst arrow to poison groups of enemies, then using a lightning arrow to arc lightning around larger packs. For even more mobility, we also have a variety of skills that involve vaulting around the battlefield too. This is Frost Escape. Using it jumps backwards and shoots a freezing arrow at the ground. Really useful if monsters close on you and you need to get away. Once you've landed, if monsters were frozen, it'd be nice to have some way to take advantage of that extra time. This is where Snipe comes in. Snipe is a skill shot that you need to charge up and release at exactly the right time. If you land the right timing, Snipe is guaranteed to produce a critical strike, and does a small AoE as well, so it's a great finisher. You can also move while shooting arrow rain skills too. This skill is Lightning Rod. It shoots an arrow into the air that sticks into the ground, and does a small AoE. Once the rods are in the ground though, they attract any arcs of lightning that are nearby, causing them to explode again. This means you can stack up a bunch of lightning rods on the ground, and bounce lightning between them, doing way more damage. Now this takes care of packs pretty well, but for bigger enemies I'd like to have something that's going to enhance my damage output too. This skill is Stormcaller Arrow. Using it sticks an arrow into an enemy. After a short period of time, a lightning bolt comes from the sky and strikes them. This has a high chance to shock them, and shocked enemies take 30% more damage from all sources. If something big walks along, it's a good idea to throw one of these at them first to enhance your damage, before following up with the other combo. Now if I really want to enhance this combo, there are a couple of things I could do using our support gem system. Skills in Path of Exile are granted by items called skill gems. Each skill gem has coloured sockets in it, and these sockets are for other items called support gems. Support gems modify your skills, and it's where a huge amount of the customization of your character comes from. First I'm going to take this multiple projectile support gem. I could add it to my lightning arrow, and it would fire multiple arrows. This would increase the number of targets I can hit, but that isn't the effect that I'm after. If I add it to my lightning rod skill instead, then when I fire it, I get a nice group of rods. This means that I don't have to spend as much time setting up before I can use it with my lightning arrow combo. I might also add faster projectiles to make the lightning rods land faster too. Now next up I'm going to grab this chain support gem. Chaining causes many effects to repeat on new targets when you hit them. If I add it to my lightning arrow, it will cause the arcs that come out of lightning arrow to strike even more targets, rippling along my line of lightning rods for huge amounts of damage. Now I think we can use support gems to improve Stormcaller arrow as well. Let's start simple. I'm going to chuck less duration on here. This will cause the lightning from the sky to strike a bit faster. Next up we have a support called Shock Proliferation. This support makes it so that any enemies shocked by the skill will also have the shock jump to nearby enemies, meaning they'll take the extra damage as well. It's just a chance to proc, so it's not going to proc on every single pack, but when it does, a pack will go down ultra quick. Another useful empowering skill is Barrage. Barrage is one of the rare cooldown skills in PoE 2. It enhances whatever your next attack is to fire 3 times. With what we have here, I think it might be a good idea to use it with Lightning Arrow. It'll generate 3 times as many lightning explosions. You could also use it at just the right moment with Snipe, or any number of other skills depending on what effect you need more of right now. It's very versatile and can be used in a range of situations. Now, even as mobile as the Ranger is, it's still very useful to slow monsters down, and a Ranger certainly has quite a few tools to do this. If you're prepared to get up close and personal, we have a skill called Electrocuting Rod. First, jump over the enemy and shoot it into them. Once the rod's in place, any lightning damage they take will build up a special electrocute gauge. Once the gauge is full, the monster is totally suppressed, allowing you to kill them easily. Now sometimes when you use Electrocuting Rod, the enemy dies before you get a chance to electrocute them. I think there's another support gem I could add to my lightning arrow to fix this problem. Neural Overload will make it easier to electrocute enemies. If the skill it's attached to puts them over 50% of their electrocute bar, it will trigger instantly. Now this skill works really well for suppressing a single large enemy, but I'd like to improve my crowd control ability for groups as well. I'm going to add a support gem called Frozen Nexus to my Frost Escape. This makes an area of chilled ground around frozen enemies. I'll also add Deep Freeze to it as well, which will make the freezes last a bit more. Now when I use my Frost Escape on that front enemy, others nearby are slowed down. It would also be good if I had a way to slow enemies down when they're farther away from me as well. So this would be a great time to start getting into the Ranger's poison and plant-based skill set. To start with, let's have a look at Vine Arrow. This skill fires an arrow into the air that creates a small plant where it lands. The plant sends out tendrils to nearby enemies, slowing them down and poisoning them. But it does have another function too. If the plant gets further poisoned, it transfers that poison to the monsters it's attached to. Normally you would only be able to get 1 stack of poison on a monster at a time, but you can put as much poison as you want on this plant. You could just use the plant to slow monsters down and not worry about the poison part, but if you want to go all in on poison, this is the way to do it. Now if you do want to focus on poisons more, another useful skill is Poison Bloom Arrow. This skill creates these plant pustules on the ground. If you wait a little while, they'll explode. Just like any other plant skill, these plants respond well to poison. Shoot the Poison Burst arrow at enemies nearby and watch your plants grow more and more powerful. Poisoning the pustules causes them to do much more damage and makes them explode much faster as well. I can also add the Pierce support to Poison Burst arrow. Doing this will mean I get multiple poison bursts as it goes through each monster. We also have another skill to make a nice environment for your plants to grow. Gas Cloud Arrow. This skill shoots the ground and creates a cloud of gas that continuously poisons things inside it. Throw your plants down, then put a gas cloud on top. The constant poisoning will make them grow.
I wonder if there's friendly fire.
Another poison-related skill we have on the Ranger is called Plague Bearer. This is a reservation skill, meaning it uses spirit. When I enable it, I get this counter that counts up whenever I apply poison to a monster. You can see the counter on the skill increasing as each new monster is poisoned. Now I'm going to fight these monsters and make sure to poison them as much as I can to build up the counter. It does take quite a while to get the counter up to 100%, but it's worth it. Whenever I choose, I can unleash the poison in a big explosion around my character, dealing a large amount of damage.
As a ranger, I like
now next up we have a classic, Rain of Arrows. It's simple. Shoot a bunch of arrows in the sky and they rain down for a short time. It's decent AoE and damage at long range. Now this skill doesn't last too long, but we can change that. It's time to introduce Frenzy Charges. Frenzy Charges are used for a variety of...
We've reached an interesting time in the PlayStation 5's life cycle, with a potential PS5 Pro shipping this fall, but very few officially announced games, and a deluge of live service projects on the horizon. As we near the midway point in this life cycle, we thought it would be a great time to reflect on the brand. While play...
Okay. There's Huntress and Warrior. Huntress and Warrior class.
I'll show you another island, I guess. This is the Warrior. Okay. This is your sort of like quintessential slamming guy, and I'll show you a few of the interactions between the different...
Do I dare say that the other game, is it similar to a B-word character?
I mean, I guess. I guess so, but what's an area we haven't shown much? Maybe Journey's End? There we go, let's have a look at Journey's End. I'm not sure what's sort of appeared on streams and things like that and what hasn't. Oh, no. Anyway, so, right, so, I guess one of the things we really want to make sure of with the Warrior is that all of our melee skills kind of have a lot of mobility. So it's kind of like a basic attack. You've got like this kind of thing. Like in PoE 1, this would be like stand and do something. In PoE 2, it involves a lot of mobility. And the other thing, of course, is just like we were talking about on the Druid, is all the combo type stuff. So on the Warrior, one of the really nice combos to use is Armor Break. So what I can do here is when I hit monsters with Armor Break, it breaks their armor, but then that is used when you, sorry, I managed to run away from that guy, when you, and so when you attack them when they've got their armor, obviously you're going to do a lot more damage. So that's like really, and then the other thing that you can do is that some of the other skills that we have things that affect armor break, so they often remove armor break and do something else. So this guy's armor broken right now, and then if I use Leaf Slam, okay, somehow I managed to not trigger that, there's a very high chance to do a heavy stun. Apparently, though, that didn't seem to work for that guy, so I don't know what happened there. But yeah, there's a very high chance for heavy stun. There we go. And that means that you can follow up with something that's much more slow. So an example of that kind of thing is we have a thing called Supercharged Slam, which lets you gather a bunch of rocks on your weapon and slam them. So if you just use it like for a short amount of time, you get like 2 slams. But the longer you hold it down, the more rocks gather up until eventually you can do like a ridiculous number of slams. So you want to be able to try and stun monsters, ideally, to be able to get that. So getting that, getting the Leaf Slam, and then getting the Supercharged Slam is a good way to kill monsters. It probably wasn't worthwhile on these like random white monsters, but on a rare, it matters a lot. The other thing you can do is Sunder. So if you Sunder on an armor broken enemy, so I'll just talk about, so Sunder when you normally use it, it's basically it's a very slow attack that does this like attacks on a line, and it's actually most useful when you have lots of monsters, because every time it hits a monster, it does a little ripple of damage. So if you use it on one monster, it's actually quite weak, but if you use it on a whole pack of monsters, then because the damage overlaps between each other, we'll just gather a bunch here, it absolutely annihilates them. And so this is a useful interaction, but if you armor break one of the monsters, then Sunder does 500% damage to that monster. And also, it does 500% damage to all the monsters that get, like from the little wave from those monsters as well. So that means that Armor Break Sunder can be a really useful way to do that. Another one we have here is a Warcry skill, so I'm going to use Infernal Cry. So Infernal Cry puts this little thing on the monsters, and then when you kill them, it causes them to explode, dealing damage to nearby monsters, so it's another kind of good pack clearer. But the other thing that it does is it gives you an exerted attack, which means that your next slam skill is going to do a lot of extra fire damage. So a good thing to do is to armor break the monster, get the leap slam on that monster to stun them, although apparently never getting that monster seems to be annoying, so I'm just going to move on. Get the leap slam on the monster, and then do the yell to get the exert, and then do the supercharged slam to get a lot of damage on them. So that kind of combo is what you'd be wanting to use if you're fighting a boss, and it's something that can really, can really help. So yeah, exactly. So you've got to, I guess a philosophy you'd say in PoE too is that you really have to earn your single target damage. It's not just a question of like, here's a single target skill, just use it. You really have to like earn that single target by doing a combination of things. And if you do that, you'll be rewarded by getting a lot of damage in a situation like that. So yeah, that's sort of some of the stuff you can do on the water. Sorry, no, not the water. The warrior. I've got 2 classes for each of the combinations. And welcome to Path of Exile 2. We'd like to start off by showing some of the gameplay of Act 3, one of the 6 acts in PoE 2's campaign. We're starting here in the jungle depths. Act 3 is set in the ruins of the Vaal civilization, which fell thousands of years ago. Jungle has taken over their former once great cities, and we'll be exploring it using one of our 6 new character classes, called the Monk. In PoE 1, we had 1 character class for each of the combinations of Strength, Dexterity, and Intelligence. When looking at the design of PoE 2, though, we realized that many of the new skills that we were trying to design just didn't really fit thematically with the existing classes that we have. Being a spellcaster with a bear form makes sense for Strength Int, but it doesn't really sound like. Realized that since we had new mechanics for every attribute combination, it actually made sense to design new character classes to explore the new things. In PoE 2, every attribute combination has 2 classes associated with it. Strength Int has the Templar or the Druid, on Dexterity you have the Ranger or the more spear-focused Huntress, and on Dex Int you have the Shadow and the Monk, which Mark is playing here. Each class has its own 3 ascendancies that let you further specialize the class in the way that only that class has access to, but they both start at the same location in the passive tree. The quest rewards you're offered on the 2 variants are tailored to the class, but of course this is PoE. You can still mix and match anything to your heart's content. Looks like we've come across the boss for this area. In PoE 2, every area of the campaign contains a boss of at least this difficulty. That's over 100 bosses to fight as you make your way through the campaign, and they all have unique mechanics to learn. As you've seen from watching Mark fighting, the melee combat in PoE 2 has a very different feel than before. We've done a lot of things to add mobility to combat. Practically every melee skill in PoE 2